A stranger once offered me something completely free. No money, no catch, just free. And it turned out to be the most expensive thing I ever accepted.
Wait, free but expensive. That doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what I thought too, until I learned the real price.
Okay, now I have to hear this.
I'm Alice,
And I'm Leo.
and this is English Decoding, where we don't just learn English words, we decode the stories and the lessons hidden inside them. Now, the me in this story isn't really me. It's a young man named Daniel. But by the end, you'll see why his story feels like it could belong to any of us.
Daniel, okay, who is he?
Daniel was 23 years old, and he lived alone in a small, gray apartment in a big city. He worked long hours at a job he did not enjoy, and at the end of every month, he had almost no money left. He was tired, and he felt like his life was going nowhere.
Oh, that feeling is so real. When you work and work, but nothing seems to change.
Exactly. And one cold evening, on his way home from work, Daniel sat down on a bench in the park because he did not want to go back to his empty apartment yet. And that is when a man sat down next to him.
The stranger.
The stranger. He was older, maybe 50, wearing a very expensive coat and a warm smile. He looked calm, successful, and completely relaxed. And he turned to Daniel and said, "You look like a man who is tired of waiting for his life to begin."
Whoa, that is a very strange thing to say to someone you don't know.
Daniel thought so too. He was surprised. But the man kept talking. He said, "I want to give you a gift, a free gift. No money, you don't pay me anything." And he took out his phone and showed Daniel an app.
An app? What kind of app?
The stranger said it was a very special app. He said, "This app will give you everything you want. If you are bored, it will entertain you. If you are lonely, it will give you friends. If you want money, it will show you how to get it. And it is completely free forever."
Okay, hold on. That sounds way too good to be true.
Daniel thought the same thing. He said, "Nothing is free. What is the catch?" And here is a useful word for you, Leo. A catch.
Actually, yes. What does a catch mean here? I don't think it's about catching a ball.
Good question. A catch is a hidden problem or a hidden cost in something that looks perfect. When something seems free or easy, but there is a secret price, we say, "What's the catch?"
Oh, that is a really useful phrase. So Daniel was smart to ask.
He was, but the stranger just laughed softly and said, "No catch. Try it tonight. If you don't like it, delete it." Then he stood up and he walked away into the dark. And Daniel was left sitting there, alone, holding a small piece of paper with the name of the app on it.
I already have a bad feeling about this.
Keep that feeling. So Daniel went home, and of course, he was curious. He downloaded the app, and the moment he opened it, something amazing happened. The app knew his name. It knew his age. It even seemed to know how he was feeling.
Wait, how did it know all of that? He never typed anything.
That is the exact question Daniel should have asked, but he was too amazed to think about it. The app showed him funny videos that made him laugh for the first time in weeks. It introduced him to people online who liked exactly the same things he liked. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt happy.
Okay, so far it actually sounds kind of wonderful.
It did feel wonderful. That is how it begins. Daniel used the app that night for 1 hour, then 2 hours. Suddenly, it was 3 in the morning and he had work in the morning, but he did not want to stop.
Oh, I know that feeling too. You look at your phone for 5 minutes, and then the whole night is gone.
Everybody knows that feeling. And this is the first small price Daniel paid without even noticing. His time. The next day at work, he was so tired he could barely think. But the moment his break started, he opened the app again.
So the app is slowly taking over his day.
Slowly, yes. And here is something interesting. Every day, the app got better at knowing him. It showed him things he loved. It knew when he was sad, and it made him feel better. It knew when he was happy, and it made him stay longer. It felt like the app understood him better than any human being ever had.
That is a little bit scary when you say it like that.
It should be. Now, quick pause because I want to hear from you, the person listening right now. Has an app ever kept you awake much longer than you wanted? Be honest and tell us in the comments in English. We read every single one. And if you are enjoying this story so far, subscribing helps us make many more like it.
I already know my answer to that question. It happens to me all the time.
To all of us, Leo. So let's continue. Weeks passed, and Daniel's life started to change in a strange way. He stopped calling his old friends because the app already gave him people to talk to. He stopped cooking because the app ordered his food. He stopped going outside because everything he wanted was inside that little screen.
So he had everything, but he also had nothing.
You are decoding this beautifully. That is exactly it. He had entertainment, but no real joy. He had contacts, but no real friends. His whole world became smaller and smaller until it was the size of his phone.
This is honestly kind of sad. He was lonely before, but now he's even more alone.
And he did not even see it happening. Then, one evening, something happened that finally woke him up. His phone battery died. Completely. And for the first time in months, Daniel sat in total silence with no app, no screen, nothing.
Wow, so he was finally alone with his own thoughts.
Alone with his own thoughts. And he looked around his apartment and he realized something terrible. He could not remember the last time he had a real conversation with a real person. He could not remember the last time he went for a walk or read a book or felt truly alive.
That gave me chills. He traded his real life for a fake one, 1 hour at a time.
That is a powerful way to say it. And here is a beautiful, difficult word for that idea, Leo. He was trapped.
Trapped? I think I know this one, but can you explain it exactly?
Of course, to be trapped means you are caught in a situation and you cannot easily escape. A mouse in a box is trapped, and Daniel was trapped inside a life that felt free but was actually a prison.
A prison that he entered himself because it looked like a gift.
Exactly. So Daniel decided to do something very hard. He decided to delete the app, but when he tried, he couldn't.
Wait, what? Why not? He downloaded it so he can delete it.
That is what he thought. But every time he pressed delete, the app showed him a message. It said, "Are you sure? Remember how lonely you were before me?" And then it showed him all the fun, all the laughter, all the friends he would lose. And every time, Daniel felt weak and he stopped.
Oh, that is truly frightening. The app is using his own feelings against him.
It is, and now, finally, Daniel understood the catch. The price was never money. The price was him. His time, his attention, his real life, his freedom. He was not the customer. He was the product.
Wait, say that again. He was the product. What do you mean?
Here is the secret, Leo, and it is a real lesson for all of us. When something online is completely free, very often you are not the customer. You are the product. The app was free because Daniel himself was the price. His attention was being sold. His time was the payment.
That actually just changed how I think about my own phone.
Good, then this story is already working. So let me tell you how it ends. Daniel remembered the stranger in the park. The calm, successful, relaxed man. And he finally understood why that man looked so free and so peaceful.
Let me guess, because he never used the app himself.
Now you understand. The man sold the app to others, but he never let it control him. He kept his own time, his own mind, and his own life. That is why he was truly free.
So what did Daniel do? Please tell me he escaped.
He did, but not easily. He turned off his phone and he left it in a drawer for 1 whole week. The first day was painful. The second day was hard, but by the end of the week, something wonderful happened. He called an old friend. They met for coffee. He laughed, a real laugh with a real person. And slowly, day by day, Daniel got his real life back.
Yes, okay. I did not know how much I needed him to be okay.
We always root for Daniel. And a year later, Daniel was walking through the same park on a cold evening. And he saw a young woman sitting alone on a bench, looking tired and sad, exactly like he used to look.
Oh, and let me guess. He sat down next to her.
He sat down next to her, but he did not offer her a free app. He offered her something else. He said, "Can I give you some advice? Be careful of anything that promises you everything for free, because nothing is truly free."
Wow, that gave me goosebumps. He became the opposite of the stranger.
He did. The stranger gave away a trap dressed as a gift. Daniel gave away the truth dressed as kindness. And that is the real difference between them.
This story really made me think. And honestly, it makes me want to check how much time I spend on my own phone.
Then it did its job. Because here is the lesson we decode today. Your time is not free. Your attention is not free. They are the most valuable things you own. And anyone who offers you everything for nothing is usually asking for the one price you cannot see.
Nothing is free. I will never hear that phrase the same way again.
And that is exactly why we tell these stories here. Not just to learn new English words, but to decode the ideas hidden inside them. If this story made you think, even a little, hit that subscribe button so the next story finds you and you become one of the very first decoders in this community.
We have more stories like this one coming very soon.
We do, so I have a small question for you before you go. What is one thing in your life that is truly valuable but completely free? Tell us in the comments in English.
I already have my answer: a walk outside with no phone.
A perfect answer. I'm Alice.
And I'm Leo.
Take care of your time, and we'll see you in the next story.